Right then. So yeah, darken down, guys. It's always good to have the lights a little bit low for yin, because light, I kind of guess we're trying to boost our melatonin a little bit when we do production of melatonin when we practice yin, and if the lights are really bright, then that becomes a little bit harder. And I'd say try and work with the sound of my voice as opposed to visual cues if you can, so that then you're spending less time on the screen too. So yeah, thank you all for coming. It's super important to squeeze in a yin practice into the week, and it becomes harder too because it feels like yang is more productive, whereas actually it's just a bit of a myth. The whole myth around energy out, energy in terms of your physicality is made up. It literally is made up. If you ate less and exercise more, that doesn't translate to losing weight. Your body is a system. It's not it's not just like a funnel. It's a very complex system, and rest and restoring and tapping into certain meridians in the body, which we will today, is a vital part of maintaining a very good, healthy, functioning body that will regulate itself well with you, which will communicate with you. It will know when it needs to sleep. It will know when it's hungry. It will know when it needs rest. It will know when it needs to move. All of that will start to come from your intuition if you practice like yin more. We'll get into the liver meridian a little bit today. I'm doing that because personally for me, I get frustrated in January because there's nothing good. there's a narrative around January that's negative, and I try not to buy into that, but I don't know about you, but I start to feel it because we are in the depths of winter, and it makes me frustrated personally. And if you have kind of blocked chi, so energy around your liver meridian, which quite often people do after Christmas because they've been overindulging and suddenly they want to stop and turn that around, you experience anger. And the flip side of that is kindness, but we can't access it if we're identifying with anger and frustration. Frustration that we're not feeling 100%, frustration that we're not firing on all cylinders, frustration that we're not in the high octane yang of high summer, because our bodies don't want to do that. Our bodies want to be dormant and still when at this time of year, because if you look at nature, that's what nature's doing too. Our bodies want to chill a little bit more. So listen to that. If we start listening to that, then everything else starts to make a little bit more sense. So let's start today in a seated meditation. And I'd love for you all to notice the neurological response to words that I give you, and the power of language and how it affects you and your body as we move through the practice. So come to sit on a cushion or something soft and just feel the rooting down and rising of the body. So you feel the spine pulling long, and just drop in. So go inside the body now. Take your awareness inside your physical body and get curious about what you discover. And then just appreciate that. Appreciate your energy levels, the workings of the mind, and how those two things work in unison. And then just drop into everything that you are, and notice, after everything I've just been talking about, notice if you do fall into the camp of someone that can be quite hard on yourself. Now, the practice of meditation teaches us that we can feel feelings of frustration, we can feel feelings of anger, but we don't have to become them. We don't have to identify with them. We can acknowledge that they're there, because they will be there. You're a human, but we don't have to really identify with them. We don't have to really become them. We don't have to be these emotions. We can just see them, feel them, allow them to be there, and then we just send them on their way. And that's not suppressing them, you're allowing them. So you've got to make space for them. Let every emotion take a seat in your body. Allow it to be there. Get curious about it. As I was trained as a journalist, I always just imagine it like someone coming to sit down and talk to me. But just allow it to be there. So as you inhale, allow. And as you exhale, just invite anything you're feeling to soften a little bit. Don't become the feeling, just see it, feel it. Inhale. Exhale, soften. Inhale, allow. Exhale and soften a little. Yeah, now just feel the wings of the shoulders melt down the back, away from the ears a little bit. Feel the hips dropping open perhaps. And if the spine starts to slouch, don't beat yourself up, it's totally fine, so long as you're at a place of comfort and ease. And as we move through the practice today, try to adopt that sense of ease wherever you can, that sense of comfort and ease. Just feel the quality of the breath moving through the body now. Feel the workings of the mind get a little bit softer. Just notice where the mind is trying to take you. Are you in the future, in the energy of perhaps anxiety or worry, or are you in the past, anchoring into feelings of maybe regret or just being in the past? And try and bring yourself to where you are now. Try to slip away from anticipation. Try to slip away from memory. Be in your own reality. In this moment, everything is okay. In this moment, your heart is beating. You're here. So long as you're here to take another breath, life has the ability to be very beautiful. We just have to show up for it. Yeah, now maybe feel the spine growing a little bit longer. Yeah, now just lengthen the breath and imagine the breath going to the deepest realms of the body now. So below the pelvis and into the legs, and feeling it becoming deeper and deeper as you focus on it. Don't judge yourself if the mind runs away. Just notice where it's trying to take you and almost thank the thinking mind. And imagine that the thoughts are like, you're not kind of in a jarring fashion saying, no, I can't think. Imagine they're clouds and you're just sending them away, just gently. So you say thank you to the thinking mind. I don't need to think right now, I need to be. Yeah, and then just come back to the breath. Give the mind the breath. Just present the breath to the mind. Notice if you're feeling anything, that's because you're identifying with the thoughts that you're having. See if you can just soften into the breath instead. Yeah, and then just start to feel the expansion and contraction of the lower belly. And then take a really big breath in, filling up, filling up, filling up, pulling the breath all the way to the crown of the head. See if you can sip up a little bit more air and then pause and hold on to that breath. Hold on. Hold on. And then open the mouth. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Release the breath out and pause at the bottom of the exhale. Linger in the pause. And then take a really big breath in, filling up, filling up, filling up. Pausing, linger in that pause. Exhale, 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 exhale. Release every drop of breath out and linger in that space of nothingness. Empty the lungs. And then inhale, 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 filling up, filling up, filling up. And then pause. See if you can sip up a little bit more air. And then hold on. Just try and think of an intention now. So use the thinking mind to draw about an intention. And then open the mouth, exhale, exhale, exhale. And then just return to the natural rhythm of your breath. And then just become aware now of the feeling of sitting, the sensations, and then become aware of the clothes and the sensation of the clothes on your skin. And then the air on your bare skin. And then start to invite awareness back. Start to let go of the day that has just passed and the day that is to come. And then open into the eyes. Just taking the hands and just cup them on top of the chest. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, pull the arms open and round through the spine and say out to yourself. And then draw the arms in and just say into yourself. So you're noticing the neurological response. As you exhale, draw the arms out. As you inhale, draw the arms in. Exhale, out. Inhale, in. Exhale, out. Inhale, in. Placing both hands to the heart. Take an inhale to the heart space. And then exhale, crack open into the eyes and just slip the hands forward. Come straight into a child's pose for me. So knees nice and wide. Now you can grab your bolster and place it in front of you vertically so that you can cuddle it. If you have one handy, that's always a nice place to come. Yeah, and just drop into the hips. Notice how the hips feel this morning. And everybody, if you are on a bolster, just turn your head to the left for me so you can feel the side of the head and the temple. Lovely. Yeah, and just cradle yourself with your breath. Notice any neurological response to the words that I say. Even the expansion and contraction of your breath. As the air flows through the lungs. And we tap into a little bit more fluidity in the body just by becoming aware of the breath getting deeper. And just ask yourself what you notice. Drowning out the white noise, the constant noise that bombards us with virtual realities and our own realities. Just now, just for now, just drown it out. See what happens. And if you have your head to one side, just slowly turn it the other way. And then slowly, using your inhale, slowly come all the way back up to a kneeling position for me. And then just come to tuck the toes, so I'm just relocating myself. Come to sit on the heels with the toes tucked, so coming into a toe stretch. Sneaking the pinky toes in, planting the palms to the thighs, roll the shoulders up, back and down, and just pause. We're going to stay here for a little while. So just start to feel the sensations in the backs of the feet. If it feels like a lot, it means you need to do it more. Bad news there. So if it feels too much, then lean forward a little bit and distract yourself with the wrists if you need to, but try and stay still as much as you possibly can. Close down into the eyes and know that if it feels like a lot, it's because the mind is identifying with it as a negative. Try and flip the script. Yeah, and just ease your way in. Now, closing into the eyes helps. Also know that the reason we hold postures like this in a yin practice is because life has a habit of throwing things our way that we're not prepared for. And in the yin practice, what we teach ourselves is that we can sit with discomfort. We do have the ability not to resist it, because what we resist persists. So just deepening the breath, taking your awareness to a part of the body that's not straining, like your eyes, your ears, the skin on your forehead. Just training yourself to be present. Training yourself to stop labeling things as positive or negative. And deepening the breath in the process. Feeling the breath moving through you. Just softening the jaw, the face, inner and outer quarters of the eyes, and feeling the breath moving through the body now. That will get deeper and deeper. About 10 more breaths to go. If you can stay with yourself. Last breath. And then slowly take the weight forward and just untuck the toes. Take the sit bones back and just walk the hands back in space and just tent the fingers and take the head and neck to neutral. Breathe to the heart space. Easy breath in. Easy breath out. Really nice, guys. Easy breath in. Easy breath out. Really nice. One more cycle of breath. Inhale. And then exhale. Walk the hands forward for me. Tuck through the toes. Send the sit bones up and come to a forward fold. So keeping the feet a hip width distant, deeply bend the knees, let the head go. And just sway from side to side. You can grab opposite elbows if you need. We're going to be staying here for a little while. So just releasing the head and the neck, softening through the legs. Yeah, try not to grip anywhere. Just relax, just release everything. Release, release, release. Yeah, so we don't want to be using too much muscle here. So bending the knees is quite important. So we're just stimulating that liver meridian now. Just releasing the back of the neck. You can grab hold of the thighs if that feels easier, or opposite elbows, whatever feels good for you. And just get comfort in life's impermanent nature when it gets to be a little bit too much. Got about 10 more breaths to go. And now slowly heel toe the feet out for me. So they're wide, just wider than your hips. And then slowly lower the sit bones down. Come to a Malasana squat. Yeah, so lowering down, bringing palms to heart center. And if this feels like too much, then sit on a cushion or a bolster or a block. Anything that provides a little bit more comfort and ease for the body. And just feel the spine lengthen a little bit more. And just pausing here. Just notice the sensations in the body. Notice the workings of the mind as the mind produces thoughts. Again, just you want to thank the thinking mind, but ease away from it. It's trying to support you, but you just don't need it right now. And if your hips are talking to you a bit, then just bring your awareness and to that place and breathe to it. Channel the breath to that place of discomfort. Yeah, and then slowly just crack open into the eyes. And then just walk the hands forward, take the big toe bones to touch, find another child's pose for me for a beat. So we just, and in this child's pose, just shift the weight forwards and back before you settle in, just to counter that. Really nice. Breathe to the back body and the hips and that liver meridian. Yeah, and then slowly plant through the palms and then shift the weight forward, come to tabletop, knees in line with hips, wrists in line with shoulders. Just take a few cat cows here just to neutralize the spine a little bit. Yeah, just feel the energy moving through the body. Yeah, just feeling that flow. And then slowly just slide the right knee towards the right wrist and set the right shin across the top of the mat. Flex through the foot and then slide the left foot back and stay on the toes of the left foot. Yeah, you're setting up for a pigeon. Take the arms wide, grow through the crown of the head and zip up through the pelvis. And then untuck the toes and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, melt yourself all the way down towards the earth. And just go easy. Yeah, so you're softening through the muscles. Yeah, you're softening through the face. Sleeping swan, we call this in yin. So you might want to draw that right foot a little bit closer to the pelvis. If you have a solid pigeon practice in your vinyasa class, it's a little bit different. And if that hip is talking to you a little bit, just breathe to it. Got about 10 more breaths to go. And then slowly, nice and easy, just walk the hands up. And if it feels okay, just a minute quickly. Slowly take the sit bones down onto the right sit bone and slide the left foot around, stacking the left foot on top of the right knee and the left knee on top of the right ankle. Now on this side of my body, depending on what day it is, I sometimes have a gap between my knee and my foot. Other times I don't. When I do, I put a blanket here so that this pose is safe and a bit easier. For this one, I want you to flex your feet. So you inhale, maybe you stay here, maybe you slowly exhale, lengthen through the spine and fold. Now, for this one, we're going to hold it for a little while. I'd encourage you to just pause, stop, hold, and then take it down a little bit further. You'll notice you'll notice a bigger range in your movement and your ability if you do it this way, as opposed to throwing yourself in. And the muscles start to get that muscle memory, ease them in. Yin is a really good opportunity to do that. And you're getting really deep into connective tissue, so you're going to feel it in the hip, the connective tissues in the lower part of the body, the liver meridian. If this feels like too much, just cross the leg and do the same thing. So meet yourself where you are, and no hierarchy. I know I always say that. Lovely, guys, and just ease your way in, or just cross through the legs, whatever feels better. And then when you're ready, just slowly walk yourself up. And just unravel the legs, extend them in front of you, and just give them a little tap, pat, all the way down the sides of the legs and the hips. Yes, just a little drum. Gorgeous, really nice. And then just cross through the legs for me and come back into a tabletop position. Take a couple of cat-cows just to release the spine a little bit. Lovely, keep spreading through the fingers. Gorgeous. And now slowly just sliding that left knee towards the left wrist and just sliding the right leg back, keeping the right toes tucked. Yeah, and then just growing through the crown, zipping up through the pelvis, and then untucking the back toes as you slowly manipulate the spine down, finding a sleeping swan. If this feels too much in your hip, then start to draw the heel towards the pelvis a little bit more, the left heel, coming into a sleeping swan. Yeah, breathe in nice and easy. Just notice if the mind is trying to take you away from where you're at. And then slowly walk the hands up, slowly and nice and gently. Gorgeous. And take the weight into the left sit bone and just guide that right leg on top. So the right shin sits on top of the left, and you want the shins square to the top of the mat. And if you feel that gap, remember to fill it with a blanket. Yeah, so there's a gap between the foot and the knee. And if this feels like too much for whatever reason, sometimes it can on a different side, then just cross the legs, easy pose. And then take a big breath in. And then slowly exhale, start at the easier end of the spectrum. Slowly take yourself down, but very slowly, nice and easy. You'll get way more from this pose if you go slower. The slower, the better. And when the mind takes you elsewhere, just bring yourself back, just interrupt it. It will try to do that. Especially with the hips open, we tap into an emotional center for a lot of us. So just know that emotions arise because they're meant to be felt. Try not to deny them if you feel them. About 10 more breaths to go. Just make them count. And if you have space to go deeper, now is a good time. Now is always a good time. Lovely. And just slowly start to ease your way out. Really lovely. And then just extend the legs in front of you. Give them a tap all the way down the sides. Just a little knock with both fists. Draw the thumbs inside the fingers. Yeah, give yourself a little tap. Really lovely. And then slowly just extend the arms in front of you. Manipulate the spine all the way down toward the floor. Really nice and slowly. Yeah, just coming to lie down. And then just hugging the right knee in towards you when you get there. And notice the right hip will try and hike up. So wrap the knee up and then wrap the hip down so it's in line with the left. So it's that duality of pulling up and then wrapping down a little bit. Really nice. So you're doing this on your backs. Gorgeous. And then slowly from here, just take the left hand outside the right knee and guide the right knee over to the left and come into a supine twist. And just pause here. And just let the twist find you. Keep breathing into that right lung. And you'll feel subtle micro shifts in the body as it adapts to the shape because you're giving it time. Just notice those little subtle movements. And then slowly unravel, really nice and gently. Take the arms alongside the ears, extend the legs, take a full body stretch. Big breath in. Really nice. And as you exhale, just hug the left knee towards you, give it a squeeze, pull it in, and just wrap the left hip down in line with the right if you feel that it's pulled itself up a little bit. Really lovely. And then slowly just take the right hand outside the left knee and guide it over to the right. And just come into that supine twist on the other side, breathing into your left lung. Let the twist find you. Try not to force it. If the mind's running away, just invite it back to this twisted shape and notice how amazing your body is. Notice how it can breathe in this shape. Notice how it adapts to what you tell it to do. And then when we give ourselves time to really mold into certain asanas, we can really feel how the body responds just by giving ourselves that little bit more time, effort and ease, yin and yang really. And now slowly, when you're ready, start to unravel, nice and easy. And in your own time, we're going to drop into our Shavasana. So you can grab, if you have a bolster, I recommend just placing it under your legs, under your knees horizontally, so that you have like a slight inversion for yourself, very subtle inversion. If you don't worry about it. You can grab a cushion, But just make sure you're super, super comfy. You've got every layer that you might need. And there's very little distraction for you. And if there's any noise around you, just observe it, and without labeling it as something, just observe it. Use a beginner's mind to what your senses are experiencing in this shavasana. And as soon as you start to do that, the trick is with doing that, using a beginner's mind with our senses, we notice that the things that we label as positive or negative aren't. They're just noise, or they're just a feeling, or it's something that we can taste or smell or feel. And then when we start doing that with our senses, we can start doing it with our emotions too. And that is the key to really tapping into our emotional state. And a good meditation is being the observer. You aren't your thoughts or your feelings, you're something bigger, way bigger than that. So you really start to observe everything that you experience for what it really is. And with that, you start to really, really become in awe of not just yourself, you become really in awe of the planet we're on, the way everything moves, the way everything is, the way everything in nature works with effortless ease, without any force, restraint, just does its thing. And nothing in nature takes more than it needs. And if it does, it becomes subject to that law and it dies off. As humans, we haven't quite learned that one. Just learn from everything you see around you, especially in the stillness of winter. And just drop into stillness in your body as you feel every muscle, every ligament, every tissue, every bone, every body part drop into the earth as you're cradled by gravity, and the earth rises to meet the body and almost catches you. Just tune in to tune out and just let everything go. if you want to stay in your Shavasana, then of course do. I'd recommend that you do. If you want to come out, then just take a really nice deep breath in, deepening the breath. Pause at the top and then open the mouth. Exhale, release the breath out. Inhale, filling up from the lower belly, ribs to the heart. Opening the mouth, exhale, exhale, release the breath out. One more big breath in. Opening the mouth, exhale, exhale, crack open into the eyes. And just wiggle the hands and the feet. And then extend the arms alongside the ears, big stretch. And then hug the knees into the chest, give yourself a big squeeze and just roll to the right side of the body. Just pause in that fetal position. That gentle reminder that you can begin again with every breath that you take. And then in your own time, slowly lead yourself all the way up to sit. And just offering yourself some kindness this evening. And just acknowledging everything that you are. Everything that's been, that's brought you to this place now. And everything that is to come. Just knowing that it all comes from staying in your reality and offering yourself and everyone around you some kindness. Slowly just bring the hands to heart center. Just bow the busy mind to the wisdom of your heart. Thank you for practicing with me this evening. Have a gorgeous evening. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a lovely rest of your evening.
Thank you, my darling.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a lovely rest, everybody.
Thank you so much, Rosie. That was amazing.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you, Rosie. Bye.
You. Any questions, let me know. Have a gorgeous evening, guys.
Thanks, darling.
Thank you.
Love.
See you soon.
Bye.
Hope you feel better, Carolyn. Bye. Bye.
See you soon. Oh, I hopefully see you on your retreat.
Oh, yes, hopefully.
I'm really going to try to get myself better for that.
I'll make you better. Lots of love, Gorge. Here
Okay.
you, right?
Sorry?
Here if you need me, okay?
Thank you, my sweet. I will.
Lots of
Love,
love.
lots. Bye.